In early 2017, if you said that Lonzo Ball, Zion Williamson, and Brandon Ingram would all be on the same team in 2021, the average basketball fan would have thought that we'd have a super team on our hands. Lonzo was one of the best high school players of all time and electrified college basketball fans in his single season at UCLA, where it became obvious he was a lottery pick. Zion was just beginning to blow up and break the internet with his thunderous viral dunks and his ability to handle the ball for a player his size. Brandon Ingram was in his rookie season, and though he had some doubters, the potential was always clearly there. Fast forward to 2021, and the Pelicans are far from a super team, and they are well outside of the playoff race in the Western Conference. So what's next in New Orleans? Undoubtedly, Zion and Ingram are the Pelicans' key pieces moving forward. Zion is a generational talent and as athletic as they come. He's averaging 26.4 points per game with elite efficiency at 66.2% true shooting, which is currently top 10 in the NBA. Almost all of his shots come at the rim, and for a good reason. At 6'7", 285 pounds with blistering speed and the ability to fly to the rim, there's pretty much no one who can guard him when he gets downhill. Off the dribble, he has a deadly in and out move as well as a crossover he likes to go to. As you would expect, he's also deadly in the post, where he likes to go to quick rip-through moves and spin moves. Zion is a decent playmaker at this point, and he's still only 20 years old, so look for that to improve with maturity. He has earth-shifting gravity, attracting defenders towards him when he attacks. This should allow him to kick out and make passes to shooters often, which really will boost his playmaking value as his vision and passing improves. Brandon Ingram's offensive arsenal is much more balanced in terms of where he gets his shot from. Compare his shot chart to Zion's from this season. An early knock on Ingram was his relatively poor finishing at the rim for a player of his height and length, shooting below 70% at the rim every season until the present. He's putting up all-star worthy numbers this season at 23.8 points per game with nearly 5 rebounds and 5 assists per game to go along with it. And he's doing it all on solid efficiency at 59.2% true shooting, which is a bit above league average. He's shooting a respectable 39% from deep, where most of his looks come from the catch-and-shoot variety on kickouts from drives. He can use his length and high release to create looks in the mid-range. He's shooting just under 50% on pull-up twos, which is right around the same as Kawhi Leonard. A lot of these looks come out of the pick and roll, where he can snake the screen and rise over the dropping big man. He's also a versatile passer out of the pick and roll. Not a great passer, but versatile. He can make pocket passes, throw lobs to the rolling big, and he's tall enough to see over the defense and throw fairly accurate skip passes when the weak side help rotates to the roll man. And he does all this on a pretty low turnover rate. So the Pelicans clearly have their two main pieces to build around, and they also have some talented role players. But this is a matter of being a fit to complement their two stars and not just a matter of talent alone. So the Pelicans are a pretty bad three-point shooting team, and building around a poor three-point shooting superstar, those two things just don't seem to go together. Teams can take advantage of this and double Zion, and when he kicks out to shooters, for the most part, they don't consistently make the defenses pay. Watch how Rudy Gobert can completely ignore Steven Adams and double onto Zion in the post. He has to kick it back out to Eric Bledsoe, who hits the three, but has historically been a guy who teams are happy to let shoot. Compare that to having a legit shooting threat in the corner. When the double comes, the weak side defender rotates down to prevent the easy dunk, leaving Kyrie wide open for the three. Again, this will be on Zion to develop as a playmaker, but it will also be on the Pelicans front office to surround him with shooters. Then the defense has to play a game of picking their poison. Do they want to let Zion go one-on-one in the post, or do they want to leave shooters open? The Pelicans are in the bottom 10 teams in the league in three-point percentage, but yet are in the top 10 in total attempts. If they can plug in players who shoot a higher percentage to fit alongside Zion and Ingram's gravity, their offense will capitalize on more open looks, then making it even easier for Zion and Ingram to attack, as teams will be more reluctant to double, raising the team's efficiency as a whole. David Griffin in the front office might also want to take a look at Lonzo's fit in Stan Van Gundy's system. The Pelicans are in the bottom half of the league in pace, which I think limits Lonzo's value on their team. He's a player who thrives in open court using his speed to create for his teammates. His instincts as a passer are top-notch, and he is a savant at capitalizing on the chaos that many transition scenarios present. He does this with great feel and anticipation while flying downhill, opportunities that are much more rare just in the half court. He has improved to be a respectable shooter, but he's best suited in a high-speed transition attack because creating one-on-one in the half court for him can be an issue. This is not to say it can't work, it's just something to think about if they're going to continue with this slow pace in Stan Van Gundy's system, which they likely will because Zion and Brandon have been very good in it. The Pelicans' defense has honestly been awful, ranking 28th out of 30 in defensive rating. The main thing that stands out to me is how poorly they guard the three, trailing only the Sacramento Kings in opponent three-point percentage and allowing the most three-point field goals made per game so far this season per NBA.com. And keep in mind, they're one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the league themselves, so essentially, right now they're trading twos for threes. Kevin O'Connor of The Ringer has touched on this before, but it really starts with Zion and Brandon Ingram showing a lack of effort on the defensive end of the court. Watch here as Zion rotates from the weak side to tag Adebayo. Ingram zones up on the weak side and closes out to the shooter on the first pass. Zion must sprint back to the corner shooter, but watch as he casually jogs and they hit a three. Here, he just watches Bam Adebayo lay it in, where he might have been able to pin it high on the glass, using his athleticism. To me, on many of these plays, he just looks uninterested. They have communication breakdowns. Here, Zion thinks it's a switch, and Ingram chases, leaving a cutter wide open to the hoop. And I don't know if this is part of Stan Van Gundy's game plan or what, but there's a lot of instances where help comes one pass away, allowing wide open threes. At the end of the day, as a basketball team, your defensive intensity has to start with your leaders. Despite being young, we all know Zion and Brandon Ingram are the guys on this team, and it has to start at the top and trickle down. Ingram has insane length and should be able to switch out and bother shots all over the court, kind of the way KD did in his days with Golden State. And Zion, well, we all know about what he can do, and there's no excuse for the lack of effort. If he puts his mind to it, he could be a disruptive force defensively, especially off ball, the way LeBron did in Miami using his size, speed, and power. If you're a Pelicans fan, you should be very excited for the future with two superstars and a point guard with insane vision and promising upside. The front office simply needs to do a serious assessment of the fit of their role players. They have too many non-shooters around an already non-shooting superstar. Look for the Pelicans to draft two-way players who can hit the three ball and defend at a high level, with their 3 first-round picks that they acquired for Drew Holiday. They also have trade assets in Bledsoe, Steven Adams, and Lonzo Ball if they decide he's not the right fit, or maybe they could swing one of those picks for a player. The future of the NBA is literally right there in the palm of their hands. They really just need some shooters who can defend to fit around their superstars moving forward. Let me know down below what you think of the New Orleans Pelicans and what their future has in store.